understand this. In every other walk of life, we celebrate mobility, seeking new adventures, new opportunities, working in better places, faraway destinations. Yet LeBron gets criticized for mobility and joining new teams and getting unhappy with coaches. All right, let me ask you, what's the alternative? Let me ask you, what's better? Sticking with Toronto's current plan? Westbrook and OKC locked at the hip forever. In D.C., John Wall, Bradley Beal. We're going to win maybe a first-round series, but multiple years together, locked into long contracts. That's about all we are. Damian Lillard, C.J. McCullough, two-headed backcourt monster in Portland, got swept. Let me ask you, status quo guy, what is the reward? Because I'm watching the world. I'm watching Apple, and I'm watching technology, and I'm watching all these great new platforms to watch on-demand television, and they're not status quo people. Years ago, at the other place, a colleague, almost dismayed, we were talking about our careers, and I said, I'm not ending here. And he goes, when is it going to stop for you? And I said, what do I get for stopping? Is there a prize at the end? And I looked around my old place, and I said, I don't want to be that guy, that guy, that guy. What I'd like to be is the guy that leaves, and at 70 years old is still doing great work and loves driving every day in his car, hopefully a nice sedan or SUV to work, with great people, smart people. Like, what status quo guy? What's the win in stopping? Golden State was great. They're like, we're going to add Kevin Durant. Houston was really good. Well, let's go get Chris Paul. Boston won the Eastern Conference Finals. They're like, let's overhaul the roster. What's the win in status quo? LeBron just swept the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. As predicted on this show, the LeBron asteroid pretty much ended the baby dinosaurs again. You think he's satisfied? Hell no, he's not satisfied. LeBron this morning's thinking George Hill and Kevin Love are good but was hurt. Rodney Hood wouldn't go in the fourth quarter. Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance are just C-minus players. I mean, the New England Patriots have the most turnover of their stars of any franchise in the NFL while winning. That's why they keep winning. Nick Saban was dominating college football and decided, I want more spread offense. I want mobile quarterbacks. That's why he keeps winning. I mean, Amazon, you know the company, started selling books. And then they said, we're going to own Whole Foods. We're going to make movies. We're going to buy newspaper. If the Washington Wizards were Amazon, they'd still be selling books, and they'd be satisfied with it. Netflix, they started renting DVDs. Then they said, now we're going to go to streaming. No, let's pivot again. Let's do our own content. If Portland was Netflix, they'd still be renting DVDs. What is the win in status quo? LeBron is Saban, is the Patriots, is Netflix, is Amazon. I mean, I just, like, there's some sort of, like, a bonus check at the end, a pot of gold. We never moved off our original plan. We are the newspaper business. We are the rotary phone. We are the Wizards. We are OKC and Westbrook. You do get the reason that LeBron is still viable. It's because he's firing about 15 to 25% of the people, the coaches, and the players he works with every couple of years. Miami got old, I'm out. Cleveland first time, couldn't get him a great second player, I'm out. Cleveland now stuck in this roster. Guys are either old, Kevin Love and George Hill, or average, Rodney Hood and the rest. It would be better to just hang around there? I don't get it. In every other walk of life, we celebrate mobility, evolving, opportunity, working with better players. We even celebrate it in sports. So don't give me that we don't in sports. Yeah, we do. We celebrate when the Yankees are good and get Giancarlo Stanton. We celebrate when Belichick moves off a Pro Bowler and gets a younger player to fit the system. We celebrate when Nick Saban says, I could be a power running team, but now we want to spread it out, mobile quarterbacks, little spread. LeBron's mobile because that's the world you got to live in if you want to remain viable in year 15 of your career. Celebrate it, because I guarantee you, even after the LeBron asteroid once again downed the baby dinosaurs, the dude, LeBronto, is not even remotely satisfied. Let me shift to the Sixers. We thought they would win yesterday, and we thought Ben Simmons would rebound and have a good game, and he did. Philadelphia, I believe, eventually will lose this series, but here's what's impressive. They shot 26% from threes and still won convincingly. Philadelphia is the only team in the playoffs that doesn't shoot the three ball consistently well and won a first-round series. And let's be honest, they could easily themselves lead this series 3-1. I mean, they had the ball in a tie game with 8 seconds left and lost a game in overtime, and they had a 22-point lead in another. Like, here's the thing about Philadelphia. This is why I like Ben Simmons. This is why I like the future of Philadelphia. The one thing you have to do in 2018 is shoot the three. They don't. And they're still really, really good. Every other team in the playoffs right now, when they lose, they have big questions to ask. Utah's going to lose to Houston. Utah's got to look in the mirror and go, we're not really competitive with even Houston. Forget Golden State. Where do we go from here? Oklahoma City loses and thinks, we've lost 8 of our last 11 playoff games. And that's in the first round. That's not to the Warriors. That's not to LeBron. That's not to a super team. You start looking around this league when Toronto loses. Should we even keep the coach? Maybe we just got to blow this entire thing up. When New Orleans loses, Rondo's old, Anthony Davis is amazing, but we weren't really competitive against Golden State. Philly loses, and they eventually will lose to the Celtics, and I believe they wake up and think, our defense is exceptional, our length is exceptional, our coaching and athleticism is very good, we've got our star point guard for a decade, our star big for about the same time. We have a city that free agents would absolutely Philadelphia play in. We just need one great wing shooter. I mean, you add Paul George to Philadelphia, you're going to vie for the title with Golden State, Houston, or the Celtics, or LeBron, wherever he goes. Forget adding LeBron. You add Paul George, a 22-point spot-up shooter on the wing who plays defense, and long to Simmons and Saric and Embiid and this coaching and the athleticism and this length and this is why I like Philadelphia. This is why I like Ben Simmons. I mean, Ben Simmons is a 20-year-old. How long do we have to wait for Anthony Davis to pop in the playoffs? How many Kentucky basketball players are in the NBA? 30, and none will be left. Philadelphia could easily lead this series 3-1. They don't because they haven't been good situationally, which is very easy to explain. They're the youngest team left. But their one hole is incredibly fixable. Find a wing shooter. It's not like it's Oklahoma City and hard to get people there, or you're jammed with Westbrook and Melo's contract, and what are you going to do? You add a Paul George over to Philadelphia, rinse and repeat for the next 5 years. This is why it doesn't matter what happened last night. They won the game. They're going to eventually lose the series, but they're losing the series for the right reasons. They're young, and situationally, they're just not quite as good as Boston, nor would they be situationally as good as a Kevin Love, LeBron, George Hill late, nor are they as good situationally as a veteran Houston team and a veteran Golden State team. But they're going to lose the series. They, as we predicted, won last night, and Simmons rebounded. But you got to feel really, really good if you're a Sixer fan today. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.